it's Caroline here from Aussie Cards and Crafts. Thank you for joining me today. This is the third in a series of 5 that I'm doing for Christmas, and this is called Easy Christmas number 3. This one, it might look a little bit more complicated, but really and truly it's not, so bear with me. What we're going to do, and I don't have one because I haven't actually done one yet, so this is my first attempt at it, but I have actually cut out all that I need, and I think I've got absolutely everything that I need here to make this card. So let me get started and let me go through what you will need first. For the top of this, we are going to put a Christmas tree on there, and I am going to blend with some ink around and bring that out. I'm then going to mount that onto some mirror board. That is going to be mounted onto the white, but I'm going to have the ribbon coming from there, which once again is mounted onto the mirror board, and then with the card base back there. The measurements that you need, so you'll need a little piece of ribbon. It doesn't really matter how wide. That's the first one that I found. Let me just open this up and I will give you the measurements that you need. You are going to need, for your top piece, you are going to need, I'll just bring this over for the scoring sign so I can put it right up against there. So for your first piece, which is your top piece that you're going to be heat embossing, you are going to need 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. The next piece down is going to be a piece of mirror board or a piece of plain card, and that is going to be 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Underneath that, you'll need another piece of white. Now you can emboss this if you'd like, totally up to you with an embossing folder. I've chosen not to. This is 3 3/4 by 4 inches. Okay, so that will sit nicely on there. The next piece under that is going to be 7 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And then your card base is going to be 9 inches by 7 1/4, so it's just marginally bigger than the normal size card. And of course, along the 9-inch side, you will need to score at 4 1/2 inches. Okay, so that will then give you your card base. So we don't need that anymore. So the other things that you will need, I've used a Christmas tree on this, and I'm going to use this. I have no idea where it came from, but I've used it several times, and it really is. It's lovely. I'm just thinking I might even use this Merry Christmas as well instead of the other one that I was planning on. Let me see if it will fit. So if I were to put that down there, I could then put Merry Christmas there. Yeah, I like that. So I won't worry about that one. That's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to put Merry Christmas there, put my tree there. So let's get started. I will list all the sizes of the card on the below the YouTube tutorial. So the first thing we need to do is we need to heat emboss, and I'm going to do it in gold because I think gold and green look lovely. You need to heat emboss the this square card. So this is your 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch, and to do this I am going to put it into my stamping platform. And the reason I'm putting it in the stamping platform is because I most definitely, if it doesn't come out properly the first time, I can then go back in and do it again. So I'll use my magnets there to put that, make sure it's right in the corner. And as I said, I'm going to use this particular one. I've used it before on several of them, but I actually quite like it. It's been used many times, and we've used stays on with that, and that's why it is so dirty. But hey, it still works. So I'm going to, as you can see, it only just fits. So I'm going to pop it there. And I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to use my Versamark, making sure that that's in the correct spot. I'm then going to use the Versamark here, and I am going to make sure it is well and truly covered with this beautiful Versamark sticky ink. What I'm now going to do is bring in my, just close that over for a moment, and I'm just going to bring in, this is a gold, it's Nouveau embossing powder, and it's just in gold. So I'm going to spread that over my image there. Just make sure that if there are any spots that you've got gold, that you don't want the gold, it is really important that you take it off at this point. And that anti-static pillow that I used before should have taken it off, but it didn't quite work. But I'm happy with that, so I'll leave that there, and I will pop this back into the jar. Amazing how long the embossing powders last for. Okay, now getting my heat gun now. And I'll also get some tweezers because I really don't want to burn my fingers. So I'm going to hold it with the tweezers. And whilst I do this, I'm going to speed it up because the machine is actually quite noisy. So. Okay, so there we go. There we have a beautiful tree. And that is going to go on there. But before we do, what I need to do is I need to do some blending. Now, with the blending, what I very much want to do is I want to make it darker in here and then blend out to almost nothing at the edges. So this is just a generic green. I think I got this from Craft Stash. It's probably one of the ones that have been sent to us. So just make sure that your colour is correct and that everything matches. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the middle. Now, being heat embossed, anything that's on the top there we can wipe off with a tissue. So we'll go to the absolute center, and each time you refill your brush, make sure you go to the center. Okay, once again going to the center and working outwards, because I want very little around the edges, but I want more concentration in the center here. There we go. Maybe a little bit more colour around just here. And maybe just a little bit more around there. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I'll just close that up so it doesn't get dry. Now, what we now need to do is we now need to attach our Christmas tree to our piece of mirror card. Now, because you're attaching it to mirror card, always make sure you do it with double-sided tape, and making sure that you've got that lovely border around the side, which is about 1/8 of an inch. You just, straight as you possibly can, you pop that down. Okay, so there's our first part done. The next part we need that to go on there. But what I'm going to do first off is I'm actually going to attach this piece of mirror board onto my card there. Okay. Then what we need to do is we need to do some more embossing. Now, as I said to you before, I found that other embossing Merry Christmas that I wanted to use. I'm not sure where I put it now. But I did want to use that one instead of the one that I had picked out. There it is. So this is actually going to go, and I'll pop it on this card just for the starters so you can see how it's going to sit. So that's going to sit there. There's going to be some ribbon which will go under here. So this needs to sit in that top corner there. Okay, and that's going to be to match the gold. And by the way, when you finish doing that, you can just go over that, and you can take any of your ink off with a tissue. So this is going to go basically about there. So I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to get my stamping platform out. I'll take that one off, get that clean. And what I need to do now is when you're lining this up, just make sure firstly that you have used your anti-static pillow, okay, so that you don't get any of your gold embossing powder where you don't want it. Now what I'm going to do is, because this is the piece that is going to stick down onto here, I'm going to lay that there, and I'm going to lay that down here just to make sure that I get my Merry Christmas in the right spot. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that, so I can take that away and that away. I will then put my magnets on just to hold it in place. And using the Versamark once again, oh sorry, let's close it to pick it up. And then using the Versamark once again, ink up the pad with your Versamark stamp pad. There we go. There we have it. Now what I need to do is I now need my piece of ribbon, and I want to put my piece of ribbon down there. So I fold it over where I want it. Okay, so you'll see that I've got it there. And I will apply some tape to that. So just some double-sided tape there. And making sure you've got it exactly where you want it here. And then fold that over. And then once again, another piece of tape on the side here. And making sure that it is lovely and straight. You can measure it if you want. I don't usually worry, but entirely up to you. Okay. So that is going to go onto there now. Now I'm going to use foam tape for that one, because we've got a little bit of dimension there. I'm just going to use some foam tape instead. Right, now once the double-sided tape is on the back, it is now a case of attaching this piece to that piece. So once again, being very careful to make sure that your borders are even. There we go. So there's part of it. Now all that is left to do is to put our top piece on just there. And once again, I'm going to use double-sided tape for that, so bear with me again. Okay, so this is one of the final pieces. I'm just going to layer that on here. And there you go. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a few more little embellishments around and I'm going to use some of these. And I'm going to pop them on there. Only want the little ones. This was a packet that I actually got from Cheapest Chips, believe it or not. It's a great little, they're great little embellishments. So I'm going to use my tweezers here. And I just want, I think, these small ones. So just a little bit of glue. And I'm going to no, I'm not. I'm not using those because they're not going on very nicely. So I'll pop those away. And I will get some more bling out of my little drawer. Okay, so bear with me here. I'm just going to use my good old pokey tool here. And these have already got sticky on the back. And I'm just going to just place them around my Christmas tree. There we go. It looks like my cat actually got into my bling here because, as you can see, or you might not be able to see from there, but there's little hairs which I will take off in a moment. Anyway, as you can see, it's a beautiful card, very simple to create, very easy to do. You don't, unless you don't really need any die cutting. You do need some stamps. But apart from that, it's basically just gluing and pasting. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll just take that away now. That's my little worksheet. I hope you've enjoyed it. This is number 3 in the series that I'm doing. I might actually put some, in fact I will put some more bling, if I can find it. I will put some more bling, I think, around here as well, just to match up with that. So there we go. That's it done now. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to my channel because that really does help me. Also, if you are not a member of our Facebook site, please head on over to the Facebook site, which is that's my website, www.Aussie Cards and Crafts. There's lots, this one isn't on there, but there are lots of dies and papers and cards and things like that on there, and cardstock. So yeah, head on over there. But if you're not a member of our Facebook, just head over to Facebook and put a request in Aussie Cards and Crafts, and we'd be absolutely delighted to accept you. Thanks for listening. I hope you found it informative, and I hope you enjoy making it. And from me, that's all. Thank you.